Welcome back, football fans. Today, we are diving right into the heart of a truly unbelievable 2026 FIFA World Cup clash. We're breaking down the narrative of Portugal squaring off against Uzbekistan. Seriously, this is that classic David and Goliath scenario that absolutely defines why we love international football, right? On one side, you have this massive, established European powerhouse led by a legendary veteran who's chasing one final crowning achievement. And then, standing in their way, you've got an emerging Central Asian squad making a historic stand. They are carrying the weight of an entire nation that is just so hungry to prove they belong in the elite tier. We're going to walk through exactly how this wild matchup is framed, what makes the action so electric, and why you literally cannot take your eyes off this encounter. Now look, we all know what the FIFA World Cup represents, but the context here, it's absolutely everything. For Portugal, 2026 is all about cementing a legacy under the massive bright lights of North America. The expectations are sky high. But for Uzbekistan, just stepping onto this pitch is a monumental achievement. But let me be clear, they definitely didn't show up just to be tourists. The sheer scale of this platform completely amplifies the pressure cooker they're playing in. The stakes are maxed out. That means every single pass, every slide tackle, every shot carries genuine historical weight. It turns totally routine plays into potential moments of absolute legend. So, how do these two teams match up? Well, it is a fascinating clash of total opposites. When Portugal steps onto the grass, they have one uncompromising agenda: attack and domination. They are built from the ground up to dictate the pace, completely monopolize possession, and just methodically break down the opposition. But then you look at Uzbekistan, and they bring something just as dangerous: pure, raw determination and a relentless quest for glory. This isn't framed as a one-sided blowout. No way. It's a highly volatile collision. You are putting Portugal's relentless, suffocating offense right up against Uzbekistan's unflinching, gritty defense and lightning-fast counterattacks. It's exactly this stylistic contrast that turns what could be a standard group stage game into an unpredictable, edge-of-your-seat thriller. And we have to talk about the catalyst driving that Portuguese offensive engine: Cristiano Ronaldo. Even at 41 years old in 2026, you cannot analyze this team without talking about his sheer gravity. Now, his role has definitely evolved. It's his veteran leadership that's really highlighted here as the skeleton key for Portugal's strategy. It's not just about youthful speed anymore, it's about his elite vision, his unmatched positioning, and his ability to orchestrate those stunning attacking moves. He is the battering ram for Portugal's ambition. He sets the entire psychological tone for the squad. And seeing how his calculated brilliance weaves into the team's attack, that is a huge part of what makes this matchup so breathtaking. But while Portugal leans heavily on that superstar veteran leadership, Uzbekistan's story is entirely fueled by an unstoppable underdog mentality. They are fighting for glory, and you can see their ferocious fighting spirit in every single minute of play. This is a team that simply refuses to be intimidated by the famous crest on the other guy's jerseys. They crowd the midfield, they physically disrupt passing lanes, and they don't back down from a single 50-50 challenge. In this explainer, we really have to give credit to Uzbekistan's pure grit. They turn every desperate defensive stand into a massive testament of their willpower. They are out there fighting for survival, and man, that raw emotion just radiates off the pitch. When you break down how these styles actually crash into each other, the action is exactly what you hope for: breathtaking goals, skillful dribbles and tricks, crucial and amazing saves. It's all there in the key match highlights. And all of it is amplified by these incredibly intense crowd reactions. We aren't watching a slow, boring chess match here. We are talking relentless, end-to-end football. Picture a heart-stopping acrobatic save on one end that instantly triggers a blazing, high-speed dribbling counterattack down the wing. You get goals that force you out of your seat, matched by defensive heroics that make the goalkeeper look superhuman. You tie all that together with the deafening roar of a divided crowd reacting to every single touch. That is a recipe for pure sporting electricity. To really get a feel for the flow of this match, we have to talk about momentum. Specifically, what we call a game-changing play, a crucial moment, a dramatic chance, or a highlight that dramatically shifts the momentum from start to finish. This game is balanced on an absolute knife edge. Just one dramatic chance, like a blistering shot rattling off the crossbar, or a perfectly timed, last-ditch slide tackle in the penalty box, and the energy of the entire stadium just flips. Every time Portugal strings together a dangerous sequence, or Uzbekistan breaks free on a counter, the momentum violently swings. It's that unpredictable pendulum of momentum that keeps you completely glued to the action, because you know a game-changing play could literally happen at any second. Every single time the ball approaches the net, you're seeing the physical manifestation of the battle we've been tracking. Imagine the sheer anxiety and the thrill wrapped up in those split-second moments. It's Portugal meticulously trying to conquer the pitch, crashing head-on into an Uzbekistan side that is fighting with absolutely everything they have for survival and historical glory. These dramatic chances aren't just isolated highlights. They are chapters in this incredibly intense story of endurance versus execution. When you watch these plays unfold, you are witnessing the absolute highest stakes international football being contested second by second. Which brings us to the ultimate million-dollar question. Who will actually come out on top in this exciting World Cup encounter? We've seen the incredible stakes, the wildly contrasting tactical styles, the undeniable star power of an aging legend, and the unflinching grit of an emerging nation hungry for respect. The highlights promise breathtaking goals, amazing saves, and start-to-finish intensity. So, when an unstoppable force truly meets an immovable object on football's biggest stage, who ultimately claims the glory? Thanks for joining us for this explainer. We'll catch you next time.